Have you ever felt like you've already explained it? Like you gave the exact steps. You even recorded a Loom, from loom.com, but somehow your team is still getting it wrong. They're still kind of fumbling over themselves. It's not that they're lazy. They're definitely not dumb. It's that you might be using the wrong tool for the job. So today, what I want to do is I want to break down SOPs, standard operating procedures, and Looms. I call them Looms and Microtrainings, the things that I use for these kind of small moments of teaching and exactly when to use them. The timing is important. And when you do this, your team will finally start to click. And if you stick around to the end, I'll show you how to build a fully functional SOP. And I'll show you how to do it without typing a single word. So make sure you stick to the end because that's when you're going to find out how to do this. I'm Brett Payne from brettcpayne.com, and I help growth stage founders really kind of escape the chaos and scale cleanly because we all want to scale. If you've ever felt like you're repeating yourself over and over, which I used to find myself doing, or even worse, fixing the same mistake twice, this video, this is for you. This is from years of me stumbling through a couple things and realizing there's a better way to do it. I'm going to pass it on to you today. So let's unpack what I like to call the founder's documentation stack so that you can stop being the bottleneck. So point number one are SOPs. SOPs, think of them as your rule book. Again, SOPs stand for standard operating procedure. It's like a playbook, right? So I coach baseball for 12U boys. If you have any kind of coaching experience, you've got kids that coach or things like that, or football or soccer, there's always a playbook, right? So the SOP is your playbook for your business. So this is the thing that is best when you're talking about tasks that never change, things that I have to do like payroll, like onboarding, like refund, sales process. They just never change. They're always the same. But the mistake that people make, a lot of owners, a lot of founders, is they simply write the SOPs too early. Well, why is that a problem? It's because they're trying to document things, but it's not stable yet. They haven't worked out all the details. I'll tell you, as a founder and an owner of a company, at the very beginning of processes, I'm always highly involved in the operations of that. And people say, like, why do you deal in all these details all the time? The reason is because it's not for me to do it forever. It's that I want to understand exactly the standard operating procedure, the nuances and the granular details, so that when I do document it and I work it out, I can do that once and I can pass it on to our team and say, this is the playbook. So you've got to work it out yourself first. You can't just say, well, I want to do A, B, and C, and so I'm going to make an SOP for this, because in the real world, things change, right? So changes that go through sometimes daily, sometimes weekly. And if you do it too early, you'll freeze it. You got to wait till it's really dialed in. So I would encourage you to do that. Point number two is Looms. This is what I call your quick clarity fix. All right. This is the fast pass when you don't just tell somebody how to do something, you have to show them how to do it. So sometimes, I've built SOPs in the past thinking like, this is super clear. And then my team just like ignored it. Well, why did that happen? This is where a Loom comes in. It's where it really shines, because you get to show them how to do it and they follow that process. So when I do Loom videos, a lot of times it's because maybe there's multiple steps to get something done. And I know it's much easier for them if I open up my PC and I open up all the tabs and I get everything prepared so I can click and I just go through and go, okay, here's the project. This is what I want you to do. And you're going to need to go here to this thing and do this, whatever the thing is. I open up the next step and I show them like a roadmap and they can watch me do it. And once they have it, they can follow that and I can build a library out of those things. So it's not just me creating a whole bunch of words for them. They have to see it sometimes. If you're serious about making your business actually run without you, do hit subscribe. I drop new systems every week to help you scale clean. Point number three, Microtrainings. These are the pattern interrupts, okay? These are the behind the scenes coaching moments when it may be 3, 4, 5 minutes. You have to get a couple staff members aside and you just kind of coach them. You can't avoid this. It has to happen as a leader. Your role as a CEO is, I tell people very, very often, it's to get other people on your team to execute on your ideas. It's where you handle the nuance. It's the one-on-one things. It's teaching them like what good judgment looks like, stuff that SOPs and Looms they can't really teach. So, and you don't need a course for these things. It's just a quick moment, right? Again, 3, 4, 5 minutes, a little injection of context. Maybe you record something and send it to them. I've done that on voice messages before. Maybe it's face to face, but they use it forever. Let me ask you something. When something gets dropped, do you blame your team or do you blame your systems? Most of the time, it's not their fault. It's that they're guessing what you would have done. Point number 4, stack these items that I just gave you, stack them like a system. This is where it really gets good because it's not just a loom and it's not just an SOP and it's not just a micro training. You can use them interactively. You don't have to choose and say, I only do this one thing. I only do SOPs. No, you could do something like start with a loom. You could record something, right? You could get it transcribed. I'm giving you a little hint into where I'm going into an SOP, and you could layer in a micro training to explain the why later to them of why you're doing it like this. And now what happens is you end up with clarity and structure and also coaching. It's very important. And it's all in one repeatable loop. So, how do you build an SOP without typing? Because I told you I was going to tell you this. Here's the shortcut. I stopped trying to write down everything. Actually, I don't write SOPs at all. Instead, I grab my phone, which is somewhere around here. I have an iPhone, so I find the voice memos app on my phone. I hit record and I just talk and I explain the process. So, a lot of times in my office here and other places, I will just pace around and talk and explain exactly how I do something. I want to speak the process. It then gets handed off, and suddenly my team is now stuck waiting on me because when I hand that process off and it gets documented properly, then they have an SOP. They're not waiting for me to sit there and tap away at different things. And it's very simple, it's fast, and it's repeatable. I left out a whole lot of small steps in what I just explained. But if you want to steal my shortcut, go grab my free Build SOPs Without Typing guide. It shows you how to turn a single recording into a fully structured SOP, no typing required. And I put the link below for you. I guarantee it'll change everything for you. So if your business feels a little bit like it's duct taped together, you've got Slack threads going on, you've got emails, you got a number of other things going on, it's time to stop winging it. Really encourage you, download the Build SOPs Without Typing guide. You're going to learn how to turn what only you can do right now into something that anyone can run. And that's really the goal of what we have as leaders and as owners. There's no typing in my process. There's no chaos. It's just systems that scale, because really, until it's transferable, you're not building freedom, you're building a trap.